Right, hello there, everyone. Welcome back to James Redmond TV and welcome to another live stream. It's me, it's versus you, and we cause a lot of controversy, but we get to the down of everything, don't we, chat? You know what I mean? We start a debate, we end a debate, we make sure that we get to the bottom line as soon as possible. But this is the channel for discussion, for agreeing, disagreeing, and all that malarkey stuff. And I think there's going to be some different opinions tonight on the Fabinho news, which has just broke that his medicals have been complete to Ittihad. Now, we're also going to talk about Thiago, who's pretty much 100% going to be staying at the football club now. And then we're also going to talk about the chances of us bringing in not just Lavia, but more than just Lavia. So although we've touched on these topics before, we're going to go into them again. Smash a like on your way in. Yeah, but big up to everyone who's in the chat early doors as well. I want to give everybody a shout out. I want to shout out to Eric Seven Hag, always encouraging people to smash the likes and subscribe to the channel. I want to say thank you to Jerry for coming into the stream. James Redmond is hot, aka Sam, my G. Shout out to Mr. Robot. Shout out to Jamie King, who I've been seeing a lot more of, so it's great to see you coming back to the stream, mate. It's great to see so many more regular faces coming back. You'll Never Walk Alone 66 is another one as well. James Lakeman, as usual, chat. I don't like this agenda. It's the agenda. I'm just not a fan of incorrect agendas. James Lakeman's, okay, so what? We're on 33. I've been live for a minute and a half. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? You know what I mean? So just let's stick to the fundamental thing of James Redmond is always on time and he's one of the most consistent YouTubers in the world. Dylan says, if the club knew they were willing to sell Fabinho and Henderson, surely they have more than just Lavia on the transfer target list. If not, I question our recruitment team. So yeah, let's start off with that then, shall we, chat? So yeah, Fabinho's now completed his medicals at Saudi. So although he's not officially joined, it's still more likely than not that deal's now done. So now we've got to consider a world where we've got no Henderson, we've got no Fabinho, and we've got 50+ million to acquire new players. Now we also know that we're pretty much looking to get this Lavia deal over and done with within the next week or two. So once that's done with, that's now 50 million out the door because we've got 12 million and 40 million for Fabinho and Henderson. We're going to be paying that pretty much on Lavia. Now, you raised the question, if Liverpool had the anticipation of Fabinho and Henderson leaving the club. I don't think they did. I think what's happened here is Saudi Arabia have gone and bought way more superstars than what we anticipated. I think we expected Ronaldo. I think we expected a couple more names, like when Benzema went, because he's older. Kante as well. He was somebody that was encouraged. Mane's just joined the league today. Shout out to Mane. We'll touch on that. But what I want to mention is that I don't think the club anticipated, well, how many more stars are they going to buy? And then are they going to want any of our stars? And then I don't think they anticipated 40 million for Fabinho and 10 million for Henderson. Now, the reason why the reason why Henderson and Fabinho should not link at all is because the same reliable sources saying we're putting in bids for Romeo Lavia right now are these same reliable sources who also say that we were in for Lavia before we were getting rid of Henderson or Fabinho. So we were already looking for a midfielder before those two were sold. Now, that's important. That's a massively important thing to take into consideration, chat. So Liverpool didn't even know they were going to leave. Saudi hadn't even got in contact at this point, and we were already looking for that additional midfielder. Szoboszlai and McAllister was done before the Henderson talks really began. So that's important as well. They were done. We already wanted a new number 6. For whatever reason, whether we don't believe Bajcetic is the guy or he's not the guy yet, Liverpool wanted a new number 6. This was before all these deals were made. So, say one thing that I'll agree with you on is that it can't be the only players that we bring in. And the way that the Liverpool Football Club have ran this year, they were going to get a midfielder anyway. So now that you've just gone and got 50 million for 2 players gone, and you were going to get a midfielder anyway, that tells me you already had the funds. Now you've got an additional 50 million to go and accommodate another centre mid or a centre back, which is huge. So chat, let me know what you think about that. And also, are you happy with Fabinho going, unhappy with him going, and why? Shout out to the Osatades. He says, now those 2 have gone, doesn't that mean we need 3 more midfielders? No, not 3. Not 3. At least 2, not 3. I don't know why we need 3 more. It's not like every single player who goes now needs to be replaced. It's because you've still got to bear in mind who's going to come into the academy, or sorry, who's going to come in from the academy. Curtis is 1 year better. Harvey's 1 year better. We're also going to consider Bajcetic, I suppose. We've got Thiago there as a backup to Sobbo and McAllister. And if he's fit, he might even start. The point that I'm leading to is that we've already got like more options than what people actually realise, but we do still need more defensive midfield options. So I think one more CDM, a centre mid, maybe like a box-to-box type, and a centre-back, that's a perfect window. If you at least get me one more centre mid and a centre back, so Lavia and a centre back, I'm happy. I'm a very happy boy. I'm not gonna lie to you, chat. Shout out to OCDs again. Now that those two have gone off, sorry, I've just read that one actually. I don't know if you repeated the comments. Try and not repeat too much, chat. If you. In fact, no, sorry. I actually encourage it because I don't want to miss out any questions, and it's very easy to do so. Just don't spam. Just send it every couple of minutes. Wouldn't mind a couple of pounds from the Saudis for Thiago. He is major. He is a major liability, lad. I disagree fundamentally. I think Thiago is a liability if he is to play week in, week out, Eric Sevenhag, right? And I think so for instance, last season, when we relied on Thiago for the FA Cup final, you know what I mean? It's kind of like that sort of fella, or that ex-fella and girls, you all know, you go out and then next thing you know, they haven't turned up again, but you trusted them, so that's your fucking fault, you know what I mean? For us, it would have been ludicrous to trust Thiago as the main guy. The main guy, that's where I'm going with this, is that Thiago is the main guy, doesn't work in any realm. What does work is Thiago being a luxury player as a backup. And the fact that we can even utilise that option is amazing. And I think he's fine with it. I think he's fine with that. I think he just wants to play at a top club for as long as he possibly can. So I think he'd be fine with that role. And he'd still have a significant impact. And also, now what we need to, if Thiago was to leave, okay, now we need a transfer fee that we're happy with. And then we need guarantee, as the gentleman said before, now we need to guarantee 3 midfielders. Because me and you want 2 right now. If we let go of Thiago, we now need 3. We're just causing ourselves shit, and we don't need to get that busy. Thiago's still really good as well. He's a liability, but when he plays, he's really good. And that's one thing to take into consideration, in my opinion. Kessie is good. It is pants. I don't know why. I've been seeing a lot of these Kessie shouts. Are you actually up for that? He's up for Kessie because he bring high wages. He comes from Barcelona, so I suppose he probably think he's the dog's bollocks, and he's just not the best in class for me because Kessie doesn't really have a ceiling. So if he doesn't have a ceiling and he's already hit the ceiling, then even though we could come here and be right here, right now type idea, I just don't know if we was going to buy a right here, right now type player, I don't know if I'd want that player to be Kessie. That's just my opinion. Now, from what I've seen, I'm just not the biggest of fans. Saudi changing the trajectory of our club and many others, but by offering far more money than can be ignored. That's facts, by the way. And chat, I don't understand why. First of all, Fabinho is fine to go there. Everyone else is fine to go there. The only person getting slander for going to Saudi right now is Henderson. And chat, I'm actually fucked with it, you know. I'm actually fucked with it. Because you know I wanted Henderson to go, and you know I had a bit of a blast throughout the duration of him being talked to leave. But chat, what's pissing me off is the fact everyone's coming out and saying, oh, well, Jordan Henderson is now wrong for going to Saudi. Bloodman. Now, I know that he had the LGBTQ thing, but listen, how does him going to Saudi, which, yes, is anti-LGBTQ, how come him going there to play football? If he was going there to be like doing campaigns and stuff like that, I can at least understand a contradiction, which is what people are saying. You know, like, oh, where's the rainbow laces now? Obviously, he's not going to wear rainbow laces. And chat, it's important to notice that the LGBTQ campaign, it was heavily enforced by the Premier League. It was heavily enforced by Liverpool. Liverpool have still got a rainbow flag as their thing now. So obviously, I'm not saying it's good or bad, by the way. I'm just saying whether you believe in it or not, they've got it there, which I suppose we've all accepted is fine. But now Henderson's leaving the club that he was the captain of. So I don't know why it's a problem that he's going to Saudi. I just don't understand how it relates. I don't know why he's getting that excessive criticism, especially when these are the same guys who, in their professions, if you got offered 7 times more money, I don't care if you're on £10 an hour, you're going to think about it. 7 times more money. He has gone from having 150k a week and 50% of that is taxed. So now we break that down to 75,000. Now, is that an amazing wage? Absolutely. But can you have too much money in this modern world? For some people, no. Because now you can not just plan on setting your family, but you can set on your kids' family, your kids' family, your kids, and you can build organizations and businesses post-football brilliantly. And you know what I do like about Saudi is that, because I'd say the same if a UFC fighter got paid a significant increase in fight pay. I'd say the same if somebody came in and invested into the UFC and hired the fighter pay. I'm going to say the same about football. These players, did you know 40% of footballers end up being broke within 5 years post their career? Did you know that, chat? Did you know 40% of footballers end up being broke 5 years post their career? That's important to notice because footballers aren't taught how to be sustainable after their career. Their only options is punditry, and not everyone's a good talker, or be a good manager, which we know is a very difficult job. It's harder being a manager than a fucking player, mate. You know what I mean? Just look at the ratio of good managers to good players. It's night and day. So that's also very difficult. Therefore, there's not many avenues for these players or platforms for them to be provided with to succeed. So now we're going to sit there and say, oh, Jordan Henderson was getting enough anyway, so now he's going to go and get 7 times more money than what he was ever going to receive at Liverpool because he was on 150k. And that now limits that being a possibility. Now, bear in mind, I just mentioned the first 5 years. Imagine the first 10, 15, 20. We saw stories come out of footballers. They're not taught to, the same way we're not taught to do taxes in school, and that therefore puts a bit of bullshit on school, is the same way footballers don't get taught how to sustain their finances after the game, or at least they don't go out their way to learn it. So I'm not trying to give just nothing but excuses to footballers. I'm just simply saying that if they're not encouraged to be taught it, or if they think everything's going to be fine, why not go out there and get a bag doing what you know how to do best? James, another thing to talk about is Shimikas and Salah. That's right. We'll get onto that, Sam. We will get onto that. James, I remember you. Oh, no, where did that chat go? Yous have been proper commenting while I've been rambling there as well. So, chat, I do apologise. Let me just scroll up a little bit. I apologise to whoever's comment that was because, oh no, yeah, I've found it actually. Shout out to Day One Stoner. Jeez, my guy, you're smoking the cushion, that blood. You know what I mean? You're smoking the purple kush. Purple kush killing my people. Jeez, I remember when I was a weed smoker, chat, and it was Bosch, it's actually a Bosch time. James, I remember you said you didn't really want Lavia. I don't know where you said that, sir. Maybe it was when we had other options, or maybe it was when I'd seen less of the player, if I did say that at all. For me, though, I've said for the best part of a month that I do want Lavia. So maybe it was a change of mind, and maybe it was just something that I said when we were linked with, I don't know, whoever we were linked with at the time. But no, for the past 4 weeks, I've stood wanting Lavia. I've been a big advocate, as we have Stefan. So it's still, no, that's not my standpoint now. And I don't think that ever was my standpoint. I think before I knew much about Lavia, I questioned, chat, is he much better than Stefan Bajcetic? Both young, both this, both not really. So if Stefan Bajcetic is held in high regard by the fan base, why are we going to go out and spend 50 million on a guy who's not much better if you think he's not much better? Does that make sense? But no, I'm a big fan of Lavia, bro. I'm a big fan of Lavia. So yeah, my standpoint certainly changed. I reckon it's at least 2, if not 3 centre-backs, especially with our medical staff. the injury thing. Like, it's not bad to have a small squad, but when you get as many injuries as Liverpool do, you need a big squad to accommodate it for sure. Let's smash those likes, guys. We've got nearly 200 people in the stream. It's amazing to have you all, and I appreciate you all tuning in. Thoughts of not signing Lavia and keeping the money from Fab and Hendo, plus a little bit from the generous FSG to get Kimmich. We're not going to get Kimmich, brother. I don't mind the idea. I would love to get Kimmich. He will be my number 1 out of everybody. But no, I don't think that will be something that we can even entertain in the short term or the long term, really. Shout out to Jamie King. I'm going to read that super chat in a minute here. Thank you for financially supporting the stream. James, Juventus is banned from playing conference. Would you try and get Zakaria, who a lot of people wanted at LFC? Zakaria is not a bad shout. He's not a bad shout. More experienced. It depends on money and finances. But yeah, he's actually a fine player. I'd be all right with that. Shout out to Chris. He says, oh no, you're speaking to You'll Never Walk Alone. I apologise, sir. I don't want to interrupt in chat conversations. Josh says, Lavia isn't going to be the buy we need. Exciting, but not what we need right now. Okay then, Josh, I'd like you to extend. Why don't you want Lavia right now? Is it just because you don't think he's good enough yet? Because if so, that's fine. That's fine. I think that's okay. If you have a preference of somebody else, then yeah, that's cool. Yeah, see what happens with Bellamy. Got bankrupt. Really really said what happened. Bellamy's a great example of like footballers going bankrupt and stuff like that. That's true, chat. That is very, very true. I'm going to go and scroll all the way to the bottom and catch up with the later comments. So if you said a comment, try and copy and paste it, and yeah, I can get it out. Who is Andre? We are linked with. How about Renato Sanchez? Renato Sanchez, I'm okay. I am okay. Chat WRL, would you want Renato Sanchez? I'm all right. There's other. I don't think, because he's more of a number 8. I don't see him as a number 6, and if he's a number 8, I don't think he's better than. I don't think he's better than Thiago. I don't think he's better than Sobo. I don't think he's better than McAllister. He's different to all of those, but I don't think. No, I'm okay. Andre, don't know. I'll be honest with you, sir. Andre is somebody who my footballing knowledge is limited on right now, Jamie. So even if you could let me know a little bit more about him, where he plays and stuff like that, a little bit of background, that'd be grand. Kimmich is old. He's approaching 29. This is meant to be our rebuild. Lavia is for the future. Anyway, we still couldn't be able to sign him. Exactly. So first of all, we don't even need to worry about Kimmich. I think Kimmich would be, like I said, if Kimmich was 50 million, which when we were linked, we were never linked with him, chat. I'm just saying, because there was fans mentioning let's get Kimmich, but Kimmich would have been about 50 to 60 million in the fans' estimate, and then we could have still got Lavia, which was future proof, so we still could have accommodated and got both, as we do still need 2 midfielders. And it's still not bad to buy experience, but I hear what you're saying. We're not under a regime where we can afford Kimmich for 300k a week. We're under a regime like FSG where they're not wanting to pay players much more than 100k a week. Let's just keep it straight. Obviously, if it's a Thiago type player, then yeah, you've got to boost the wages. But now that you've got Thiago, can't get anybody else. So the point is that they're probably going to pay Lavia like 80 to 120k a week wages, within that range, in my opinion, with the fact he's 19, as that is their market. So, and also we've got to consider that Klopp could leave in 3 years' time, and if that does happen, that's important because, he's going to be the one rebuilding Lavia and basically pushing him into the system. Panascouts, James, at the end of the day, what a footballer at the top level earns in a month or two is equivalent to the average job. The average Joe earning 40k per year over 25 years. Please don't defend them. I'm going to defend them. I am going to defend them. One thing that's for sure is that I don't mind. I don't care about that stat. It doesn't matter to me. We all live different lives and we all have different outgoings and we all have different expectations. There's parts of the world where your goal and your objective for the day is to go and get water from a lake somewhere so that your family has water. You know, you see people with it on their heads and that, mate, and they're carrying it for hours and hours and hours, and that's their objective, survival. Whereas what's the objective of people in the UK, for instance? Get your GCSEs, get a decent 9 to 5, get all this stuff. The point that I raised there is that the guys who are going out and getting 9 to 5s, if I'm nervous about my job or I'm scared of something within the UK, just because the UK is a more, I mean, it's fuck still, but like, let's just say it's a more running society. It's a more, a richer economy than the places that I'd reference where, people are going and getting their own water and it's more survival based. We can still get upset. We can still make mistakes. We still don't know how to pay our taxes, Circumstances are different, my friend. I'm absolutely going to defend footballers. I don't care. Money should not be the gauge on whether or not we determine someone's happiness. And finance certainly shouldn't be that either. And I'm saying that as someone who's low-key skin chat, you know what I mean? Like, I just make me YouTube money in that. I don't make mega dough. I'm saying that from a position of someone who doesn't make excessive money. I've only got a little tiny flat. And I'm happy. I obviously want to make more money. But, like, in footballers' terms, they get money from such a young age where it's kind of now not an issue. So if they don't know how to handle it, then it's not just them. It's still got to be accounted towards them, but you can still defend them to a degree. And I don't think just because they're rich, you shouldn't defend them. Does that make sense, Panascos? Jerry says the rebuild will not be finished until next summer. So I hope we fix the midfielder right now, sign Lavia and one more, and wait until next summer to sign 2 new centre-backs. Yeah, I mean, I'm not down with that. Nah. I don't want to, because we're just doing everything that we've done with the midfield. If we neglect the centre-back situation this season, we're doing this year with the centre-backs what we've done last year with the midfielders, where we just completely neglected an area and went and got fucking Arthur, and I don't want to go and get Kabak again, guys, so I'm all right. James Gomez is now our longest serving player at the club. Just eat that. It's mad. It's fucking wild. Yeah, it's wild, but hey, he might be fucking out the door. Chat, if Joe Gomez leaves, who's then our next long serving player? And also, when does Trent fit in the equation? Because didn't he play 15-16? Trent should be up there now as one of our longest serving players. I swear he played in 15-16, no? towards the end. Towards the end of the season when he was like dead skinny, or was it 16, 17? Chat, you let me know. You let me know. Trent should be there though. And that's me trying to disclude his academy period, by the way. Andre is worth a punt, 20, 30 million DMs. Listen, I don't know how good Andre is. If Andre's good, then I'd entertain it. Festus says, I'm not happy Fabinho is gone. He's still useful. Can't judge him for one bad season. I understand. It's not really one bad season. It's been about I could argue two, 3 seasons. 2 out of the last 3 seasons, I think he hasn't been great. I even think in the quadruple chasing season, he was poor for 6 months. So I don't think we're talking about the same Fabinho. I think in your mind, Fabinho is still really world class. In my mind, Fabinho is not even top 20 DMs in the world right now. Not that he can't get back to that, but he hasn't been that for 18 months is my reference. So because that's my reference, because I've got 18 months of a player not being the same, I don't think he's now one of the best CDMs in the world. And I don't think he can become that again. But Lavia can become that in general, which is why I want Lavia. I'm happy Fabinho's gone. I'm happy he's getting a lot of money. And I made up the dogs, never caused too much of a fucking fuss. Did I tell you the story about my ex and that she used to walk Fabinho's dogs? Like, because she was a dog walker and she'd always meet up with Fabinho's wife to grab the dogs. Do you know the same French bulldogs that was causing up all the shit about him potentially not going to be able to go to Saudi? Those dogs were all over the news, and I remember my ex showing me a photo of her and those dogs. I was thinking, fucking mad that. You know what I mean? That was a couple of years ago, maybe about 2. Nah, it was longer than 2. About north of 3 years ago, that was. And it just brought it back. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't know those dogs were ever going to cause an inconvenience. Shout out to Toche. He says, we can't wait for 2 summers to finish the rebuild, Klopp. Then we'll have just 1 year to utilise and adapt them all. Exactly. So that's why it's important to go out and get Lavia now. And let's say if we got Colwill, we're not going to get Colwill, but let's say Colwill, because it was the first one that sprung to mind. Let's say we got Colwill. That's another young player who, yes, might not be right here right now, but he can be there for the rebuild of Jurgen Klopp. And think about it. All of our superstars weren't the right here right now when we got them. We had questions on Verge, Salah, Alisson, everyone really. I mean, but I think Fabinho, funnily enough, was the most established, yes, this is going to be world-class signing. You know what I mean? Because he was boss at Monaco and one of the best DMs in the world at that stage. Even Thiago, you maybe could argue as well, and that just hasn't worked out. But everybody else, they weren't world star names before they came in. They might have came in for world star price tags, some of them, but not world star names. Not trying to suck anyone off or anything, but can we all take a moment to appreciate big man Hamez's grind? What a beast. Welcome to the Hamez Sexual Club, my friend. Welcome to the Hamez Sexual Club. Pause. Shout out to Panascout. I'm not talking about happiness, James, but you're saying they go skint. Sorry, my heart bleeds for them. I've worked 30 plus years and made mistakes, but never earned anywhere what they make in a year. With all due respect, my friends, it's because you choose fields that don't make as much money as the footballing field. And Panascout, I don't want to dispute your skills in your work area, but I'm sure whatever you work as, it is significantly easier to get in that line of work than what it is as a footballer. And it's all circumstantial still. So Panascouts, please don't take that as disrespectful. It's still circumstantial. I don't know your circumstances to where you got to and what you had to overcome to get to where you got to. So don't think just because I'm saying they make more money than you, they're more successful than you. That's not what I'm saying. And I'm sorry if I misconstrued what you were saying about the happiness and stuff. But sorry, my heart bleeds for them. I've worked 30 plus years. With all due respect, sis, sounds like you're a hard-working man, which is brilliant. I just don't see the relevance to this case. You are a hard-working man who has been forced to, adapt to a system like the world where you can now work in any 9-to-5 job and it's fine. You can work in any if you lose your job in one, you can now go and work in another. You seem like a hard-working man. You seem like you've got a resume of work behind you. These footballers go from being football players, well-known football players, to now post-career. They are broke, bro. They are broke. And it's not because they are, it's because they are encouraged throughout their career to do, make mistakes and stuff like this. You're saying right now, Panascouts, that their overall income should determine your heart bleeding for them or not. I don't think that's a premise that I stand by. I think people can make money and not know what to do with the money and therefore make mistakes with money. So the point that I'm leading to, Panascouts, it doesn't matter about the amount of money for me. They go through a lot more than what we do. With all due respect, me and you, for instance, we're not known by the whole world. We don't get shit on week in, week out. And then everyone says, well, I'd get shit on week in, week out if it was for that money. I'll tell you now, chat, I wouldn't. Like, it's one of those things where, okay, maybe I actually would, because I want to obviously become really big in YouTube, and I don't really care about bad or good, like, publicity. You know, I'll always be myself. I'll always be authentic. So I'm different, but then some people don't like that. And they don't realize that's the price that they're going to have to pay for these high wages. And then you've got the media spinning narratives, and then you've got allegations being made in certain areas. And there's so many elements to football where I'm not saying every footballer we should cry for if they end up being broke. I'm not saying that. But I am saying when Henderson goes to Saudi to get 700k a week, we should be happy about that, because now it, at least eliminates the possibility of him becoming broke after football, because he's going to have that much money. But that's a proper side conversation that I don't want to. But do you know what? Actually, let's keep it going. So can footballers, James. Come on, mate, you're putting them on a pedestal. I'm absolutely not, sir. I'm not putting them on a pedestal at all. I'm taking everyone's circumstances into consideration. I think you're trying to neglect how, the mistakes that can be possibly made in a footballer's life because of the finances that they make. If I'm wrong, Panascaus, let me know. So just because they make money, we can't feel sorry for them. Just because they make money, we shouldn't take into consideration 40% of them still end up being broke within 5 years. Okay, so now if I give a 5-year-old £1 million, are they still going to have that £1 million by the time, like when they've decided a few things that they want to buy? No, because they don't know how to buy it. So although a footballer isn't a 5-year-old, they live a completely different lifestyle to me and you. They are presented with different challenges to me and you. So I'm just saying, I'm not putting them on any pedestal. I'm saying they've got struggles the way we have struggles. And just because they have increased finances doesn't mean we shouldn't shed a tear for them. I just don't understand the correlations here, but I appreciate the discussion. I think it's good and productive. Festus, he says, no one should be seen as different way because of their wealth. You can still be broke no matter what you earn. Facts. And I know rich people who are depressed, chat. You know what I mean? Like, it's tough. You're holding everything together. You're holding businesses together. And also what you've got to realize, I noticed this on the doors, is that the higher your outgoings, the higher you need your incomings to be. So yeah, like I think more sympathy needs to be given to footballers. I think everyone says we shouldn't care about them at all because we get money. I'm not saying Panascaus says this. I'm just saying this is the general conception of what people like to say. Mental health affects everyone. Doesn't matter about a person's wealth. Facts, I 100% agree. Fowler owns a lot of properties and is doing well. Exactly. So you see Fowler as an example of someone who has made or maximized his finances, which is great, fantastic, amazing. I'm made up for Fowler. And other footballers should be smart in that way. But, if we're gonna say that we're people and we're fundamental people, then listen, we can still make mistakes, can't we? And the world isn't designed to be thriving as a footballer. James, you defo a W-Riz and have about 15 birds. At least 20, but, we won't talk about that. You know what I mean? Not a message, chat. I am a gorgeous boy who does not do anything insincere. Shout out to V. Aaron, shout out to you, sir. Thank you for the super chat. James, I heard Joshua Kimmich is 30 mil. Would you want to go for him? Could give us the experience. I've seen recent reports coming directly from Kimmich saying that he wants to stay at Bayern Munich for the season. So I don't think we can even get him for 30 mil. Would I take him for 30 mil? Absolutely, Adam. You are, James. If you've got millions, you can afford financial advisors, lad. Panascaus, okay, that's fine. You can afford financial advisors the same way that we can afford to pay our bills at times. But sometimes something might interfere to where you pay. And also, when I say interference, I am saying if nobody encourages a financial advisor or a footballer doesn't see the point of getting a financial advisor, the same way some footballers might not see the point in getting security. I'm not trying to say let's give them complete leeway, but Panascaus, I need to establish your argument now. What's your argument? Are you saying that just because they make money, we shouldn't care for them? Because maybe all footballers don't think about getting a financial advisor. It's like me saying to you, well, maybe Panascaus, you should have committed to football more when you were 5, because you might have actually been on the wage that they're on. It's a bit tough, isn't it, to just hold people to the past when they haven't done things. It's about supporting them for the future, correct? And that's what it sounds like you are, sir. You sound like a person who wants to help other people. So I don't understand how the statistic of 40% of footballers getting broke after football makes you think, but they made a lot of money through their career and make 4 times more than I will in my lifetime in that span. So I don't feel sorry for them. Again, their outgoings are significantly higher than yours, Panascaus. I don't know how much you pay on your mansion, you know what I mean? You're probably paying millions, my friend. But they are paying hundreds of thousands on this. They're paying hundreds of thousands on tax. They're paying hundreds of thousands on cars. The outgoings are higher. And if they don't have a financial advisor, and it's quite insincere of you just to say they should have a financial advisor, that's a problem for me. That's just like a little bit of an issue for me. I don't know how that fully aligns, you know. James check Saka. This is the Belgium dude, isn't it? Chat. I saw the guy yesterday. Is there any updates? Would anyone be able to? Reference what he said instead of me going to Twitter and checking? Daniel, shout out to you, sir. Thank you for the super sticker. Really appreciate it. James, you defo. Oh no, I've read that one. Chat, you are being low on the comments today. Let's get active. Come on. Late again on my day. Shout out to Wisdom. Shout out to Wisdom. Chat, it'd be amazing if you could smash a like as well. That'd be fantastic. James, any news on Lavia? No, we're still waiting for Southampton to accept or reject the bid that is on the table of 45 million, which is basically a package deal at the moment. So I'm sure Southampton are going over a few things on how they want the deal to play out and how much money they want to get. Hamez, check the... Oh, no, chat. You're proper telling me to see this kid, aren't you? Right, yeah. Let me go on Twitter. Can someone tag me in it? Can someone tag me in and I'll read it out to you? I think some... Shout out to the gentleman who sent me his Twitter yesterday. Right. Let me have a gander. Someone did tag me in his tweet last night. I'm just... yeah, there we go. I think I found the gentleman's Twitter on my phone. I won't get it up on my laptop, but I will get it up on my phone. Right. So I am on his Twitter now. Right, his latest tweet from 19 minutes ago regarding an update on Romeo Lavia. As far as I know, there's no need to worry for Romeo Lavia to Liverpool. Reds were busy to close the Fabinho deal today. So basically, the people who sort out all the ins and outs of the business within our football club are the same people who've been dealing with this Fabinho situation. You know what I mean, chat? So... nothing to worry about in that sense. The reason why it's delayed is because of the Fabinho stuff. So it sounds like something on our end. And every part involved were waiting for this deal to be done before a new movement after yesterday morning, a verbal bid of around £45 million, bonus included. Things are taking their time, but there's a confidence, and as far from LFC than at Southampton, a deal will be done. So both clubs are confident that the deal will be completed. Apparently, that dude is like the David Ornstein of Belgium, so we'll take that with what you will. Shout out to Drunk Vigo. I've not read any of your legendary comments tonight, sir, so big up to you. Great to have you back. And did I say shout out to Wisdom? I saw Wisdom's comment before. I don't know if I said hello, but I hope you're well, lovely. We need to rent a billboard in Liverpool and put James Redmond's face on it. We don't. We don't. We only because I don't want to disrespect the city like that. You know what I mean? Let me get a trim first, Drunk Vigo, and then we'll talk. Paniscaus. James, I don't have the skills, mate, but to play football. Sorry, I don't have the skills to play football. But if you earn millions and go skins, whose fault is that? The majority of us don't get that chance unless you win the lottery. No, we all have the chance to make money, my friends. That's a victim mentality that you've got there, Paniscaus, with all due respect. We all have the chance to make money. We can all be... There's accessible ways to be millionaires. There's not going to be a corporation that says that you cannot be a millionaire. We can all create business ideas. We can all create inventions, ideas. As all millionaires and billionaires always been millionaires and billionaires. No, there was a point in their life where they were broke, bro. You know what I mean? So that's important as well. That was me who tagged you, James. Hey, Edrin, that was you who tagged me. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I was really trying to remember your name, Edrin, because a couple of people ended up sending it to me, but you were the first, so big up to yourself. I'm not saying footballers shouldn't take that money. Who wouldn't? I never said you did say that. I know you're talking about the fact that they should do better with their finances in the moment of their career. But then I can say that, well, why didn't you act on a business idea at this age? That's the reason why you're not a millionaire. And that's the reason why you're thinking the way you are right now. Footballers get paid from their employer. They're still not creating their own wealth. It is the employer who's paying them this money. Therefore, they're developing no skills in the real world post-football to know how to sustain a lifestyle. Football lifestyle and our lifestyle are completely different things. And this is someone who's in the same lifestyle as you probably, is being used to 9 to 5s. Obviously, I'm a YouTuber now, so it's a bit different. But, in the sense that I'm more experienced on that side of things, these footballers don't have a clue. That's important to take. Don't you think education is important, Paniscaus? And if you don't think it's important, then maybe it's not worth taking the conversation no further. But if players don't know the real incentive or the real reason why they should go out and get a financial advisor, that's important. You know what I mean? That's important. Hang on a minute. Why am I a moderator? Tristan, I don't know why you're a moderator. Don't you want to be? I don't know why. I think it's just because you've been here a couple of times, and sometimes when I'm watching the stream back, I'm like, oh yeah, he's always here, he's always sound. Let's make him a moderator. Maybe it's because you've added to the stream, like you tell people to smash the likes. I don't know, Tristan. If you want to be demoted back to a normal dude, then go for it. But you don't have to do nothing, Tristan. You can just chill. You don't have to do anything. Just look at it kind of like a badge of honor. You know what I mean? James Redmond has confidence, mate. James Redmond has made content with Rory Jennings. I have made content with Rory Jennings. I love the way he's putting my resume out here. Drunk Vigo's just always backing me, you know. He doesn't even talk about the conversations or the chat or anything. He's just there like James Redmond's boss, you know what I mean? Evening Legends, I hope you're healthy and happy. Kessie is available on loan with an obligation to buy for 20 to 25 million. Would you entertain this? If it was a last minute, context matters. Right now, would I take him? No. But if it was a last minute resort, I think it's better than nothing for sure. So in that aspect, yeah, I'd take him. I had my own shop in the city centre. I still didn't earn what they earn in a year. Well, why was that? Why didn't you make more shops, Paniscaus? The point that I'm leading to, say, is that, like, I feel like I'm not going to explain this well because I wasn't quite ready for this debate. I'm also unsure on what your stance is. If I understood your stance more and your argument more, then I'd get it. Because I assume you say we shouldn't feel sorry for them because they made a lot of money. I just don't get that, Paniscaus. I don't get that. You know what I mean? Just because you made a lot of money in 1 year doesn't mean you'll have that same amount of money after your career. It's mad the way that we've ended up on this debate, though, when I was just trying to defend Jordan Henderson. You know what I mean? Big up to Paniscaus. Christensen has been linked to Liverpool. He has. It's one that I talked about yesterday, and it's one that I wouldn't hate. I was a big fan when he was on loan. I've got this thing on me fucking cat. You see that, chat? What is that? Know what I mean? I remember when he was on loan at Wolfsburg, and he was good. And also at Chelsea, I think he's shown some really good signs. And if we're going to revert to a 3 at the back, I think that suits him brilliantly. And he's done well at Barca. He's just won a league title. If there was any legs to the rumour and they were willing to sell him, I think he'd be willing to join. He's been in England before. And Jurgen Klopp, chat, am I right in saying this? Jurgen Klopp has wanted him in the past. And if he's wanted him in the past, then that's also important to take into consideration, in my opinion. So, yeah, I'd take a punt on Christensen. Price matters, weekly wages matters, but for the player, happy days. I'll take that. Lavia soon indeed. We got an update 20 minutes ago that there should be no interference from Chelsea about the deal, so we should be all good. James, would you bite the bullet and buy Sangre from PSV for his 30 million release clause? I've heard this dude's okay. I just haven't watched enough of him. But if he's 30 million, and let's say he's better than Lavia in some senses, why not? He's 30 million, you know? Don't know how old he is. Don't know how good of a dude he is. But listen, I'll take it. I don't know our homegrown situation. There's a lot of shit I don't know about Liverpool right now. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? What do Liverpool need at the minute to be ready for the new season? I think Liverpool needs a lot. I think we need a centre-back. I think we need a centre-mid. I think we need a lot. I think we need a fucking lot. Yeah, it's a tough dynamic with Liverpool at the moment. Yeah, I'm not too sure. So I mean, I say 2 midfielders and a centre back. If you get me 2 midfielders and a centre back, I'm back to being shameless, you know. But then you ask me, do I think will we get those people? And I don't think that's the case. My stance is that they're overpaid, and I don't understand how you can feel sorry for them when they blow their millions on cars and women, etc. No, I hear what you're saying. Okay, then let's break this down. My stance is that they're overpaid. First and foremost, why are they overpaid? Because if you invest your money into watching football and I invest my money into watching football and everyone in the stream does the same thing, that's going to make quite a lot of money. So what's overpaid? You know? We've got to take into consideration how much money is the organisation paying? And then why is the organisation making that much money? Because of the players. So the players are actually generating their own wealth. It's like if I set up an event and I invite all you guys to the event, but to enter the event, it's a £5. You all pay a £5 to enter the event. Let's say I end up making 10 grand for however many people come at it. You know, I haven't done the maths in my head. I make 10 grand by charging £5 for a ticket. You all then come. But then you come to me and say after it, I've never made 10 grand in a one-night event. I've never made 10 grand in a one-night event. That's not fair. That's not fair, James. You've made 10 grand in one night. Why can't I do that? Do you attract eyes? So, for instance, when you had your shop in town, Did you attract customers to a point where you were making bags and bags? Or did you just sell your items and not really put excessive time into promotion? Drunk Vigo says this to me all the time. He says, James, you need to get out there more. You need to promote yourself more. You need to do collaborations more. Do collaborations with this person, this person, this person. Because he knows that will increase my viewership. It will increase how many people know my face. And then that will in turn increase my revenue. So, sir, with all due respect, you had opportunities to promote your business more, to make more money. If you didn't do those things, and I'm sure you did promotional things, and I'm not trying to dispute your work ethic, Panaskaus. I'm just saying it's not a fair argument when you say they're overpaid. Well, what determines overpaid when you're the one investing into the product? And we're investing into the product. You know what I mean? And they're the ones creating the product. Do you get what I'm saying? That's important. So I don't think they're getting overpaid. Maybe in Saudi they're getting overpaid, because I don't think Saudi are generating the funds from TV revenue and sponsorship deals to be able to match what they're actually paying these players. I think we all know that it's the oil money that they've made over the years that they're putting into the sport. The difference between them and us is that we are generating our own revenue through TV, through sponsorships, and through these things. And that is what's going back into the players, which is the product, which is important. So the reason why I feel sorry for them is because they are taught to be the product. The reason why I feel sorry for them is because they're taught to play just football. They're not taught the same way we're not taught taxes in school. Is the same way they're not taught maybe to be pushed to a financial advisor, or maybe they'll get someone in the family to control the finances and then someone does it wrong, or maybe they're going to get sued in some degree and then that's going to go wrong, or now they've got the press all on them. I'm just saying it's not as cushy as you're saying, Panaskaus. Like, I'll be honest here, I don't understand the point. I can absolutely feel sorry for a millionaire if they're not happy, you know. I can absolutely feel sorry for a millionaire if they go broke, 100%. If you go through a mental health crisis and your money is now gone, let's say if you got addicted to something, you might have just had a 2-year bad patch. A 2-year bad patch. Now your money's all gone. Maybe you gambled it away. And yes, the blame should be on that person. So if you get broke after football, I'm not saying you shouldn't take no blame. I feel like that's where we differ. I think that's where we're misunderstanding. But even though you shouldn't take the blame, we should still now encourage to help them. And even though that's a completely separate point, it still doesn't refute they are overpaid, because I don't think they are. And I don't think it refutes that you can't feel sorry for them, because I absolutely think you can. And I don't think the generation of their wealth should be the determining or the sole determining factor on whether or not you feel sorry for them. I'll be honest. I like this though. James, you're missing my point. It's the fact that you feel sorry for them blowing their millions. I think I addressed that point at the end, don't you think, Panaskaus? I know that you sent that comment a little bit before. But yeah, I can still feel sorry for somebody blowing their millions, no doubt. We are really happy to have you represent us as Liverpool fans in videos, as you don't sound dumb, whilst being biased, or just talk about our club in general. Unlike others, not calling out any names. I appreciate it, sir. I try and be transparent. I try and be good. I'm not the best YouTuber, and I'm not the smartest, because I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not any of this shit. But I am someone who'll try and give my point of view based on my personal life experience. So I'll try my best. We are really... Oh, sorry, I've read that one. Just wanted to read it again because, the NFL and the NBA offer free financial classes so they don't go broke after their career. The Premier League needs to do that. The academy should be teaching the kids how to use their money right. I agree 100%. Panaskau says, don't bring the mental health side of things into it. That brings a different matter altogether. Panaskaus, how can you say don't bring the mental... Don't you think if somebody goes broke, there is something mentally wrong with them there when they've made all these millions? Don't you think there's something wrong? Maybe do you think they've overpaid on an addiction, or it was too risky with a business idea? You don't know the context of a lot of these people's lives, and you're saying, okay, we should not feel sorry for them, but we can't include mental health problems because now we might have to feel sorry for them. Panaskaus, that's just a bit dumb. You know what I mean? Say, and I know that you're an elder gentleman, so I actually want to refute what I've just said. I'm speaking to you like I'm speaking to me mates in class. I want to actually apologise for that. I've never met you, but I know you're an older gentleman. I don't want to sit there and say, let's not include mental health. Absolutely include mental health. That's the fundamental premise of why we're talking. You know what I mean? People don't just go broke. If you're spending all your money on cars and girls, and doesn't that show that your head's not quite in the right place? Shouldn't that be taken into consideration? And it's not that we should take away the blame of the players. We should still say you're broke because you made yourself broke. You're broke because you love too much pussy. But now we can still sit there and say, well, you also might, but you did have something wrong, as that was the main mindset. Mental health should be included, Panaskaus. I don't understand that. It all correlates. I notice when I have mental health issues, I don't post on YouTube. What does that then do? It impacts my finances, you know? There's a reason why I had to take a few days off recently. It's because my mental health weren't right. But them couple of days off have caused me a bit of shit financially, because that could have been an additional however much money that I could have made from streaming, from videos. So it's cost me the same way addictions can cost footballers. So even though it's amplified and it's increased, it's still the same addiction. It's still the same problems we suffer with, you know? They still suffer with laziness the way we do. They still suffer with additional problems and external problems the way we do. It's just amplified for them. And you're saying the plaster and the cure is money? That makes no sense, bro. That makes no sense. Did you say you're broke because you love too much pussy? What the fuck, Wisdom? I never expected that from you. I thought you were a fucking angel. Am I broke because I love too much pussy? No. But Hamez did used to be like a little dickhead. So when I first became known, yeah, I'm actually, do you know what's mad? I'm a perfect example for this, and it's mad the way this took over the whole stream, but it's actually been an interesting discussion. Big up to Paniscouse, don't worry, we're still friends. Don't think that I'm having a go at you. This is a good debate. Me, do you know my problem? My problem, yeah, when I first became known and I was starting to make money and I was starting to do collaborations, I started going out a lot. I was invited to clubs and I was invited to the VIP sections. And then what are you doing? You're inviting girls into these places, and then you're going out constantly and you're spending money there. Why? Because I'm trying to be the shit. I'm trying to uphold the standard of being James Redmond. Now, that's a fucked up mindset, because I don't need to uphold any standards, or I don't need to be the guy. But my mind told me, you need to be the guy. How do you be the guy? Go and buy people drink. Go and buy the biggest bottles. Go and get drinks for everybody. All the girls, all the lads, everyone. Sort out everything. I remember one time I was in a pub and there was only 20 people in the pub. So I saw a perfect opportunity. And I just got a big paycheck from, what was it from? I think it was like I don't even want, I don't even know. I don't want to give anyone I don't want to name a business that didn't pay me like that, because this was actually a good payment. But I went into a pub and I just said, right, I'm buying everyone's drinks. There was probably less than 20 people, about 15 people. And I bought everyone's drinks. And then there was this group of girls in the corner who came over to our group and was just like, satting, you know what I mean? And I thought that was their boss. But it showed my head was fucked, because quite clearly I weren't putting my money into responsible areas. Now, can we sit here and now say, James, I don't feel sorry for you because you made a shit mistake? Yeah, of course. I mean, it was still my fault. I'm not taking away that it was my fault or not. But I still had things that was getting in the way of me doing it right or wrong, you know? So you can't just sit there and say, well, if you've got more money, you're now limited to making less mistakes. I don't get it, fam. Paniscouse, I feel like you're just being argumentative now. You know what I mean? When we hit in town, Jamie, when do you want it? When do you want it, lad? Give us a shout, G. I'll show you all the best place. You don't have to buy drinks for everyone, bro. Nah, I don't know. Nah, I know that now. I'm spiritual now. I don't even think about all that type of stuff no more. I don't even go out no more. This was prime Hamez. Look at me, prime Hamez, like as if I'm 40. Not me, but me. Wait there. Not me, but me would agree with the Paniscouse. Fair enough. Wait there. Me, not me, but me would agree. Oh no, I get you. Me, not me, but you. Yeah. I get you. I was thinking me, not me, but me. I haven't saw him for a while, to be fair. That's why he slipped out my mind. He would actually agree with Paniscouse. And that's the thing. We're entitled to agree or disagree on these topics. It's not that Paniscouse is bad or I'm bad. You know, I'm not saying fuck poor people, and he's not saying fuck rich people. At least I don't think he's saying that. You know what I mean? I'm saying everybody, old, young, poor, rich, we all have our own circumstances. How did the stream go from Fabinho going to Saudi to Love and Push? I'm not going to lie, this is the JRTV spectrum. You know what I mean? This is where you've brought it. I read the comments and, you know, we got a pussy. James, would you get Tyler Adams? No. There's many more CDMs out there. My guy ain't the one. Hamez ain't paid the tax. Hamez ain't paid the tax. I'm a top taxpayer, chat. Don't even fuck with me. Say sorry to anyone you've wronged and let's get you to the top. I haven't wronged anyone. What do you mean, Strong Vigo? Do you mean in life? Or do you mean in the YouTube space? I haven't wronged anyone in the YouTube space. I'm good with everyone. I haven't got no beef in the YouTube space. I'm custy. What do you mean, Drunk Vigo? Do you think I've been beefing with people and that's why I've not been collaborating? Drunk Vigo thinks, right, James, let's burn these bridges that you've got and let's just go and thingy. Nah, bro, like I'm cool with everyone. I just haven't been collaborating with everyone. No bridges are being burnt, though. Say James talking about his financial struggles while someone asking questions like Liverpool should go and get Tyler Atkins. Nah, that's funny. That Ah. Honestly, mate, I think some people who just tune into this channel think this guy is a crackhead. What happened to you change your life? Wait there, sorry. What happened for you to change your life so dramatically, James? And are you happier now? Oh, that's a proper story, innit? That's a proper story. Chat, can you even be asked listening to my life story right now, like the previous time? Can you even be asked? You know what I mean? I think it's productive for some people to hear it, but the brief version, I suppose. How do I even explain? I want to answer your question. The main thing that's changed my life, sir, is the Lord, is my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. That's the first thing. And people squint at that. They go, I went like a blind thing. Like now, I just need to become religious, so I'll be happier. But when you actually understand the context and when you understand where the word came from and why the word is reliable, yeah, that's what changed my life mostly. That's what changed my life mostly. Do it, yeah. Oh, so you actually want to hear it then? Sweet then. Well, if you want to hear it, I don't mind telling you. So, the brief story. So in January, I essentially got into a situation where I had to go and do a little bit of couch to couching. If you don't know what couch to couching is, you've got to sleep between. Like jump from like one mate's place and then to another place. So I was just sleeping on couches for a little while. So between January and March, I was doing that. And I stayed with a friend. I won't mention his name for the sake of this story. I'll call him Dave, but his name's not actually Dave. But I stayed in Dave's on his couch for between the end of January and the end of February, and I was broke, chat. I just got to a point where I went through a period of like going out a little bit and just not being smart. And I also didn't see the point in anything. Now, throughout this period, I was learning a lot about like the world and how fucked the world actually is, and that got to me a lot. And I thought, okay, then, well, what's the opposing good to all this bad? And my friend Dave, who's not actually called Dave, was a Christian, right? So Dave was letting me stay in his. I then got a job back at my old work, which was a charity, a homeless charity I was working for. So that was getting me by. So I weren't just living in Dave's rent-free. I was making sure to pay him just a couple of quid a week. I was buying food. I made sure the place was always clean. I'm an all right couch to coucher, chat. So if I ever get homeless, just know I'll be your personal assistant. But no, seriously. And he was a Christian. And he would just always plant seeds. That's how Christians refer to planting seeds. So I'm now going to just, mentioning Jesus, mentioning the gospel and spreading it a little bit, even though I couldn't comprehend it at the time. So my first battle then became, well, James, you want to become a Christian, but now you need to get the evidence to support the claim that Jesus is God. So then when I went through, because I was looking into Islam, I was looking into Christianity, I was looking into multiple stuff. And then I just thought, okay, then which one makes the most sense? And to me, I don't want to offend anyone. To me, it's just Christianity made the most sense. It had the most reference. It had many things linked for me that just made that the most reliable source. And I think that's the most reliable book in history. And then even when you mix it with how other religions perceive Jesus, that kind of made me think, okay, so we all believe Jesus, but now we need to do this. And ever since, God's just took the reins. I'm now at a point where, and then in April, I got scammed of all my funds. So bear in mind, January, I'm homeless. January to February, I'm in Dave's. And then from April, I've just been scammed of all my money. So the way it happened, it was like, do you know a fake bank? It was a lot of things that came in. So I made an order and the delivery company was called DPD. Now I missed the first couple of deliveries because I live in a flat and there's no doorbell. So I missed the first couple. I then got an email saying, right, you need to pay a delivery charge for us to send it out again. I paid it. I put my bank details in, get a call 2 days later. And it was from the bank. And they were like, did you put any details in a link? And I said, yeah, I'd done this 2 days ago. Because a transaction had went out of my account from Leeds at 7 a.m. So let me just rerun that. I order something, miss it, need to pay a delivery fee, which didn't end up being the case. Ends up paying said delivery fee. Then I get a phone call from a fake bank saying, oh, by the way, £5 just came out your account. I check my bank, £5 just came out my account from Leeds. Who's got my details? Must be from this link. This scammer then took all of my money. I only had a couple of grand at the time. I think I had about £4 in my account. They took all of that, So they took the 4 grand, and then chat stupidly, I had 1 grand available overdraft. So years ago, when I was like 17 or something, I had an overdraft. Yeah. I don't ask me why a 17-year-old's got an overdraft, but I was fucking ruthless. Anyway, so I had about 4 grand, and I've just never got rid of it. It's always been available. I've never got rid of it, but I haven't used it for years. So they then took the money I had and the money I had in the overdraft. So from April to now, all I've been doing is working on like just having enough for me flat and having enough for everything. Like chat up. The reason why I'm so skinny right now is because I've been fasting for the best part of the last 3 months. Now, the reason why I haven't wanted to tell you any of this is because I didn't want you to feel incentivized to send more money or any chat. I am fine. I have got my Lord and Savior who has saw me through this time. I make no money from ministry. By the way, my spiritual journey, I don't bombard it onto you because it's a football show, but I'll let you know because you's like me and I love yous and I want to let you know what I'm doing. But this has been the hardest year of my life is the point I'm leading to. You start the year homeless, you now end up being in a position where you've just been scammed of all your funds. And I could have sat there and said, wow, the world's proper kicking me in the dick at the moment, you know what I mean? But the first thing that I done, I just simply just looked up and I said, because I don't speak to God. Everyone thinks Christians speak to God like, Father, bless this sinner. No. I'm speaking to God like, God, I don't know what to do. So here's my predicament right now, Lord, yeah. I've just got absolutely skinned. I am skinned on my ass, pardon me language. My main issue right now is I trust you. I've been learning more about you, but why has this happened? Like, why didn't you protect me from this? You know what I mean? Like, how come? I'm not blaming you, but why is this happening to me now? I've just sorted out my own place after being homeless. Got me new flat after sorting a job. And now I've just been scammed of all my funds. So why has this happened? You know what I mean? I was also planning on coming back to YouTube a little bit earlier. So, but then you learn more about the word and you understand why these things happen. And what this period gave me was a time to think. It was a time of separation. And it now gets to a point where I can do these videos every day for you because I rebuilt that fire. And I can actually like speak to people better. I can help them more with the problems, whether they're spiritual, not spiritual. I can look at it from many different perspectives. And I wouldn't have learned these lessons if it weren't for the lessons that I've been taught in. Now, some people will sit there and say, oh, it's just bad luck. Or, oh, it's just this. That's fine. That's fine. You know, everyone's perception is different. I'm not telling you to all be a Jesus believer because James Redmond said to be a Jesus believer. I'm not saying that. But that's sort of my thing, you know what I mean? James sees his stream as a confession box. No, someone asked that. I don't know. I've been contemplating telling you that because I didn't want you thinking like, oh, James is trying to sound all motivational. People have been through way worse shit than me, mate. You know what I mean? Fuck me. My life story isn't that inspiring. But if anybody, one person gets something out of that story, amazing. Because I wouldn't have been able to sit there through the hours and hours of fasting and being dead hungry, not having any money to buy food or nothing. And to be fair, there was people who helped me throughout the process. I actually want to shout out to like Turkish, and that Turkish helped me out a little bit. He just sent me like a little bit of money for food. I didn't tell him the whole details. He just got the gist. Because, yeah, that was one thing. I hope he doesn't mind me telling you that, but he was a G. Because he was asking where I was, and it just kind of, I just wanted someone to tell. And he already had my bank information, so he just sent me some money, which was lovely of him, me, you know what I mean? Proper dude, sorting me out a little bit of food for a few days. And that was in about June or something. So the point that I'm leading to, chat, is that I've been a proper bum the past 6 months, you know what I mean? But I've been improving on spirituality. I've been improving a little bit more, bits and parts on my physical health. I've been trying to rebuild those bridges that Drunk Vigo mentions about, in a sense of, you know, because I was away for a long time, not posting. So yeah, man, it's been a tough year. And when I talk about it, I know I expose people looking at me differently and, you know, that type of stuff. Not everyone's going to like the Jesus talk. I understand that. But if it weren't for Jesus, I wouldn't have seen through this time. So I don't care whether you like him or mention him or don't. He does for me what he does for you. So I can't put it much more simpler than that. Yeah, man. That's it, chat. That's it. So I hope that answered the gentleman's question who asked before. You know what I mean? But nah, everything's all good. I heard all that, James. I'm glad that you turned a bad time into a learning time and it's made you stronger. Exactly. Dave, that's boss, innit? You know what I mean? And, that's sort of what's got me to where I am now. So, yeah, man, I'm buzzing, chat. You know, I'm very happy. I'm very grateful. I'm eternally grateful for everyone here. The fact that even 200 people stayed to listen to that bullshit was boss. Fucking sick. Should do a TED talk, me chat, shouldn't I? You know what I mean? Do a fucking TED talk. Yeah, man. But nah, chat, thank you for everything. Because again, I wouldn't have got out of this situation if it weren't for you, and I wouldn't be here with you if it weren't for God. So praise God, you know what I mean, chat. Thank him for everything that he's done for us. And yeah, that's going to be the end of this stream. Fucking hell, that got bullshitty and all fucking cringy at the end, didn't it? Nah, mate, I love you. If you can smash a like on the way out, that'd be grand. And if you can leave a comment once this video's done, you know the score. Shout out to Panascouse, who was a huge contributor to today's stream. I really appreciate it. Shout out to Scott Hutchinson. Shout out to Jamie King. Shout out to Neil. Shout out to Wisdom. Shout out to Brandon. Shout out to You'll Never Walk Alone 66. Shout out to Dave. Shout out to Mark. And I also want to shout out to everyone who super chatted throughout this stream. Who was this? Edrin, Daniel. Shout out to Adam. And also shout out to Jamie King, who sent a super chat earlier. Thank you all for financially supporting the stream the way you guys do. Much love to you. Good night, Wisdom. Good night, everyone. Have a belter time. See you in a bit.